Hey yo, this is Steve Penn message. A lot of y'all need to hear this. Pay attention. Word. Let's get into it. Let's go.
I don't know about that one. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back. You know, trying to work on something. You know, I'm always in the lab working with different stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I got an interesting topic for y'all today. You know, and what made me want to think about this topic is the fact that Ari Spears, you remember the comedian Ari Spears back in the day? Him and Tiffany Haddish caught a lot of flack from that video they put out with that child in it. I forgot the name of it, but anyway, Ari Spears has been getting some backlash because of what he said, his comments about Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Not really, you know, being great to him or a GOAT, whatever it was. I know you guys probably heard it or whatever, and I'm not gonna put up no audio, no clip. I try to keep my page clean because I don't want to get no strikes or nothing like that. But anyway, yeah, Aries had a real strong opinion about Ice Cube, you know, body of work and him being a GOAT. And he didn't have no cool things to say really. So he kind of thrown underneath the bus with that one. But you know, what I gotta say about all of that is it is to be expected. You know, Ari Spears is a comedian out of New York, straight out of New York, and you know, it's likely for him to have that type of attitude against, I mean, Ice Cube or any other rapper that is not from New York, right? Because that seems to be, you know, the attitude or the trend or the past behavior of New York, especially when it comes to like hip hop music. You know what I mean? New York didn't accept a lot of people, rappers, artists that if you wasn't from New York, man, you wasn't really getting you weren't getting no shine, and they wasn't trying to give you no shine. And it's kind of ironic because now, you know, it seems like, you know, New York kind of like has taken the back seat to when it comes to hip hop. I mean, with the exception of groups like Griselda and the Lox, and you know, even I must gotta say like the Diplomats, Jim Jones and Nas. You know, you don't really hear a lot of influence, 90s era boom bap artists influence really heavy on the airwaves right now. Or, you know, a lot of these young kids don't even know about, you know, some of these artists. But I don't know, it's kind of like karma, man. Maybe, you know, the tables has turned because I remember growing up in Connecticut, you know, trying to pass demos out, trying to get, you know, A&R shopping our music in New York City. You know what I mean? We was really not getting any kind of love, you know what I'm saying, at all, you know, and it's kind of still that way today. Like, you know, we're right next door to New York City, you know what I'm saying? And you would think that, you know, somebody from Connecticut would have basically blew up because there's a lot of dope MCs in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? We right there. We're part of the tri-state area. You know, you got Jersey, you know, New York and Connecticut. That's the tri-state area. So, you know, you heard a lot of MCs and artists from out of Jersey, the Redmans, the Queen Latifahs. You know, we heard them all, you know, but we right there, man. Even in Boston, you know, you had cats like, you know, Benzino with the Source magazine, you know, so the East Coast has always got its props, but Connecticut never really did. And I just wonder why, but I know back in the day, New York wasn't accepting a lot of artists, and it kind of like backfired, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I remember going back home. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now, but I remember going back home and, you know, after being in the South so long, you know, it's kind of exciting to me to go back home to see, you know, the new trends and, you know, how the community is doing what we're listening to, you know, as far as the culture go. hip hop, you know, what we're listening to. So on my way back up there, you know, traveling while I'm driving or, you know, I'm flying, I'm really trying to hear what's on the radio, what the local radio stations is playing. And I'll be damned. One time I went back home and I did that, you know, tapped into, you know, like, you know, some of the most popular radio stations up there for hip hop, tapped into it, and it sounded like I was in the South still. You know, I'm like, okay, I don't hear that boom bap. I don't hear what I thought I was gonna hear. And that just makes me say that, man, I feel like hip hop, New York hip hop is kind of like lost its identity. You really gotta, you know, search for it. And I know that it's still there. And I also know it ain't totally, you know, it's not totally the artist's fault that we're not hearing their music. I mean, people like me, I'll dig for music. You know, I look for like underground, who's popping, you know, who's hot. You know what I mean? But the average public, the general public ain't gonna really do that, especially the casual hip hop fans. They're not really gonna do that. But I'll do things like that. So it's just kind of like, man, is this kind of karma for New York hip hop scene that, you know, they're not getting the love like they once did back in the 90s in the golden era age of hip hop? Is it has it backfired because of all the you know, the pushback that they gave other genres, I mean other communities and other areas that was trying to do hip hop? You know, it wasn't likely that back in the 90s, maybe even before then, that, you know, they were gonna give an artist that's from the South a shot. You know, the South had to kind of like pay their own way, you know, to get respect in the game. So it's just like, man, you know, you don't hear a lot of, you know, New York artists just popping like that, other than the J. Cole's and, you know, the obvious ones, the Jay-Z's. But and I know there's a lot of dope artists out there, but I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a karma effect. I don't know, because New York definitely wasn't giving it up like that back in the day, for sure. They was not giving it up on no aspect. You know, you really had to had to be in the inside or whatever. But now it's just like, now with independent artists out, you know, getting on these different platforms like DistroKid, you know, the sky's the limit. Now we really ain't gotta answer to nobody as artists. We could just put music out at will. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention with the Ari Spears kind of like, you know, shitting on Q, but that's how the hip hop community is in a whole on the East Coast, I feel like, especially during my era. You know, if you ain't from New York, you ain't popping. And that's just absolutely not the case. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys can check that interview. You know what I'm saying? I might put a description on at the bottom of the link. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so that's really it, man. I mean, has hip hop, New York hip hop, are they begging for a comeback? You think they'll ever reign again? You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I think if they stop being so like cliquish and like cliquish, yeah. If you're not from New York, then we're not gonna play your shit. You know what I mean? That just seems like that's how it has been for New Yorkers, period. You know what I mean? But much props and much respect to New York City. I love New York City. Got a lot of family out of New York City. I'm an East Coast kid for real. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Ari Spears' comments against Ice Cube is expected. He's a New Yorker. That's my whole point of the thing. My whole point of the story is that he's a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, what the hell do you expect, man? What the hell do you expect? But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Ari Spears, and is it even a big deal? I really don't even think it's a fucking big deal, to be honest with you. It's just something to talk about. What's going down in hip hop. But until next time, I guess I'll see you guys later, man. Peace.
Back in my hood now, you already know. It's official hip hop. Patiently waiting, Connecticut. let's go. Stand up. We ain't nothing sweet in my residence. Let's do it good, y'all. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Come on. Let's go. Round one. Who's stronger? Don't tell me who's money longer. I'm a warmonger for spitting, driven by pure hunger. Back on my stomping ground, Wild Willow area, where I earn dough, sash and blow on my interior. Me and my partners at the block leaking lava. Grind past the sunshine, the game what we admire. I ran with them dudes that's known to break law. Bully Mo, shell shot Rue, cousin Javon. Memories of killer spree on Willow haunts me often. Strangers were targeted by hillside marksmen. Posted on a turf like we won't take them off of it. Made out-of-towners retreat to their metropolis. This is the place where I was born and raised. W-I-L-L-O-W, man, we rap hard. Yeah, ain't nothing sweet in my residence. Politicians with bad intentions giving mixed messages. Dirty waters with big dreams get smaller, and new faces relocate to get tortured. Connecticut is where I'm from, so I'm repping it. The home where the Huskies roam alone ever since. New York niggas considered us irrelevant. The missing link to the tri-state, yo, we checking in. Brass City, what up? Yeah, we checking in. Elm City, what's good? Checking in. Hard hitting, New Britain, I see you. Bridgeport, of course, yo, we checking in. No, Connecticut's been under the radar for a lot of things. We here now, man.
The place in the East Coast that's most slept on, where black and Latinos carry illegal weapons. Connecticut, H2O, known for pumping medicine. Waterbury, boy, we slap fools for their negligence. Snatch necklaces, then flee, leave no evidence. With a scapegoat that hide dope in her crevices. We all specimens of ball players, rappers who never got a shot overlooked by the Big Apple. I watched DJ Kev Grant learn from DJ Live, then blew the fuck up and turned his back on the guard. New imposters rep my block and they not even from around here. Stunting, yo, drown here. Dirty water, drink from that green horse Jakarta. It's similar to Alcatraz, hard to escape the land. Greet a villain, shake his hand, or he'll shake that man. Come see for yourself, think I'm playing, better change your plans.
Ain't nothing sweet in my residence. Politicians with bad intentions giving mixed messages. Dirty waters with big dreams get smaller, and new faces relocate to get tortured. Connecticut is where I'm from, so I'm repping it. The home where the Huskies roam alone ever since. New York niggas considered us irrelevant. The missing link to the tri-state, yo, we checking in. Yeah, we checking in.
Stanford, what's good?
Yo, we checking in.
New London, let's keep these fools wondering.
Missing link to the tri-state, yo, we checking in.
Checking in.